Hi, Cooper community. This is Chef Ryan. Obviously, not in the Cooper kitchen today. I'm at home, like all of us are, doing a lot more cooking in our own kitchens. I just wanted to share a quick video of a home preparation, something fun, something that kids can be involved, and most importantly, something that you can make with ingredients you have at home. So this is a meatless, we do this a lot on Mondays. We call it a meatless Monday. It's going to be a grilled cheese. And I'm giving you a little twist in the grilled cheese today, some different ways to do it using what you have on hand at your home. Also, classic combination with grilled cheese. I was able to find some really nice tomatoes at the store. So I'm gonna do a quick tomato soup to go with the grilled cheese. The tomatoes, about 15 minutes before I started this video, I cut them in half, threw a little olive oil, and put them in here in this little roasting oven. Usually cook them about 20-25 minutes, really intensifies that tomato flavor. As you know, they're mainly water, so this really kind of concentrates it and get a nice flavor to go with your soup. For the grilled cheese, the bread we're using is just whatever I had. You could use whatever you have on hand. You can get really creative with that. With the cheeses, I know the classic is the American cheese. I don't have any American cheese in my refrigerator, and I wasn't able to find it. So what I do have is some Mexican cheese, some mozzarella cheese, and this is a white American cheese. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways to do it, and some really quick, fast ways to do it. What we've been cooking when we cook at home is trying to keep the cleanup as minimal as possible. So I'm going to make the tomato soup straight from the oven to the blender to the bowl, not using a bunch of extra pans on the stove. For the grilled cheese, I selected a big pan. You can actually even use a griddle if you have it. Non-stick works great for this. Something that can cook a couple sandwiches at the same time would be ideal. We'll see how many I can fit on here. Okay, so grilled cheese. First thing to do, you got your bread here and your cheese. Very simple. For this first one here, I'm going to do the white American. A couple slices. You could use one, you could use two. If you want to go super cheesy, you could go three. I think I'll go three. Okay, so there's one type right there. This next one, we're going to do it a little bit different. We're going to do this one with some of this mozzarella cheese. Actually, I think this is an Italian blend. It's not just mozzarella. It has a little bit of provolone in there as well. And for our last one, we're just going to do maybe a combination. How about a slice of the white American and then a little bit of this Mexican 4-cheese blend on top of that. Okay, so these are our 3 grilled cheese, what we're going to do. So next part of grilled cheese, when you're making grilled cheese, everybody mainly uses butter on top. Butter, softened room temperature. You want to ideally get this out the day ahead of time. Generous amount of butter on the outside, on both outsides. So these are ready to go. And then, for this next one over here, I'm going to do a sandwich. What would you do if you forget to take out the butter, if you don't want to use butter, if you can't have butter in your diet? This is a secret weapon that can be used for grilled cheese that a lot of people don't know about, but it actually works great because it has a higher smoke point than butter, the mayonnaise. So, same thing over here, a little bit of butter. A little bit of the mayonnaise on the outside. Same thing, just make sure it's nice and evenly distributed on there. Okay, so these are pretty much regular grilled cheeses ready to go right here. So the little twist we're gonna do today to make an ultimate crunchy crust is, instead of just putting these into the pan over here like this, we're gonna sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top. And once again, you can use different types of cheeses. As a matter of fact, this other one, I might try this other cheese. But it's kind of patted into the crust, and it's gonna form a really nice crust on the outside of your grilled cheese. So this one here, let's try a little bit of this Mexican cheese on the outside and see how that works. You could also do the same technique with tacos, where when you're cooking your tortilla, you just put a little bit of the cheese on the outside of your tortilla, and it'll give it a really nice little crunch. Okay, so these are ready for the pan. My pan over there is warming up nicely. So we're going to, next part is just put them in the pan, cook them. So we have these ready to go right here. See if I can find a little, looks like my my pan got a little too hot, so I'm gonna crank this down. You want a medium heat here, and you want to watch it pretty close. But like I said, the cool thing about using the mayonnaise for a topping is it actually has a higher smoke point than your typical butter crust. So these ones are going down here with some different types of crust on the outside. And while these are cooking, we're going to check on our tomatoes here. Tomatoes, I think about 25 minutes is what I set them for. They're coming out of the oven right now, nice and hot, nice and concentrated. I splashed a little bit of olive oil on them when I cooked them. And a little bit of fresh ground salt and pepper as well. So they're gonna go, like I said, this is an easy cleanup, non-stick skillet, or non-stick sheet pan here, going straight to the blender. At this point, these tomatoes are gonna be really nice concentrated flavor. I like to use this part too. Has some of that extra tomato juice and flavor. And then next part is to finish your tomato soup. I'm gonna splash a little bit of water just to kind of get the consistency I want. And then at the end, you can put a little hint of cream in just to give it a real nice viscosity and a nice velvety mouthfeel, and give some richness to it too. So that's an optional part. And next part too, you can make it vegetarian, add your favorite vegetable base. In this case, I do like to add just a hint of chicken powder flavor. Hint of garlic. If you had some fresh herbs, I didn't do an herb garden this year. I typically like to keep some around my window, but I don't have any. But this would be a great, ideal time to get a clip of fresh basil, fresh parsley, or combination, and throw that in. Or if you had thought ahead and froze some herbs and some little cubes or something, that would be a good time to put it in here as well. I think I'm going to add a splash of cream in my soup, if I can find some. So we have a splash of cream, add a hint of hot water. So this is ready to blend. Over here we got our grilled cheese. You can bring that a little closer. They're grilled up nicely. You can see some of that cheese that fell off. It's caramelizing on the side. We don't have to worry about that. I think we're about ready to flip them at this point. So we'll see how these turned out. This is the mayonnaise. You can see right here, the mayonnaise formed a nice crust. I mean, a beautiful, perfect crust. So next one's over here. These are gonna be our cheese crusted ones with the butter. So the cheese really forms a super crunchy outside layer. That was the Mexican cheese. And this one here is the Parmesan cheese. You can see they didn't burn at all. All it did was form a nice extra little crunch on the outside. And then there's the mayonnaise one. It also did not burn at all. And like I said, with that high heat, you can really go a long way. And to be honest with you, when I serve these to my family, they can't really tell the difference between the ones I use with the mayonnaise on the outside and the ones with the butter on the inside. So there we go. We're gonna watch this really close now, because once you get that first side done, for some reason it seems like the second side cooks a lot quicker, because your cheese is already kind of melted inside. You got that nice crust on the other one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off, let the residual heat just kind of carry through and cook them over. And we're gonna finish off the tomato soup. This would be a good time to throw a little towel on the top, just in case your whole kitchen, you don't want the whole kitchen splashed. So, hasn't happened to me yet, but don't want to take any chances. So, hot water and blenders, there's something about that combination that just makes it want to shoot to the sky, and especially when you got a nice high-powered blender like this. So, here we go. Just going to give this a nice whirl, blend it up. Only takes a second. Only takes a second. Blend it up perfectly. Right now it's really hot. Grilled cheese are hot, ready to serve. If you weren't going to serve these right away, you could just put them in these soup containers that you're going to serve them in, and just microwave them up if you want to give them an extra little heat. Because sometimes when you're cooking at home, the timing doesn't work perfectly with getting the family together all at the same time. So ideally, you'd like everything perfectly coming out of the oven, and in reality, this doesn't really work like that, as we all know. But so anyways, there we have that. Last part, we have our grilled cheese coming off of the grill here. So this is the mayonnaise one here. This is the Mexican cheese crunchy outside. And then this is the Parmesan one. So, and then this is the age-old question here. Do you go triangles or do you go rectangles? So, one of each here. And then if you're going to dip them, do you do fours or halves? So, whatever your geometric preference is there, feel free to go with it. Got a nice little oozing melty grilled cheese in there to dip into our soup. And there you have it. Hope you guys are able to enjoy this recipe, and have a great day. Thank you.